me playing the music.
And if you,
I think so, because I played way much than T-Bone.
Oh no, he got that. Oh, called him out.
Hey everybody, welcome to Mount Paozu Arcade this week. It's been a bit of a difficult start, but we're definitely officially launched on tonight's episode. So I have Hell Pockets here, I am Meta Ave, and let's just get this show on the road, man. Oh, what? Well, you got your camera going? Oh, you bastard. They're saying that they can't hear you, by the way. Are you?
All right, now they can hear me.
Oh,
now they can hear me. So not only is
ladies and gentlemen, this is the classic. The classic.
The classic. Hey, I'm coming home after an hour-long drive, and I'm being told our producer doesn't have internet. So we're lucky this thing's even happening at all. It's been a long time.
We didn't have to go there. I mean, it's excusable. It's okay.
Yeah, it's excusable. Right. But anyway, the reason why I was gone is because I actually spent some time at Bandai Namco and basically got some more time with Dragon Ball FighterZ. I found out some stuff that we hadn't really noticed before. We didn't really get to dig that deep into it before, but I spent a lot of time playing what we would call training mode, I guess, in this version of the game. And there's a lot of cool, in-depth things, a lot of deeper things that me and actually Maximilian got to discover at the same time. Really interesting. Like, I'm not going to go too in-depth with it. There will be a video later on that details a lot of this stuff. But based on the footage that we've seen so far of Dragon Ball FighterZ and competitive play, like, we haven't even begun to, like, cover the combo system, There's, like, all sorts of shit that is available to the players if they can dig deep enough for it. So you don't even want to give us a tidbit? What kind of shit is that? I'll give you a tidbit. I'm just saying that, I'm not going to get too in-depth with the tidbits. I'll get the one that I like personally the most is the ability to what I would call manually launch from the ground. Basically, what that requires you to do is at some point during your combo string, initiate a crouching medium attack, and that's going to pop your opponent up. Now, what's different in this version of the game, at least it's news to me, is the ability to cancel higher lows in like basically standard higher low attacks into the higher low version of that. So basically, if you start a combo with a weak attack, you can cancel that into the low weak and then to the standing medium and to the crouching medium. Now,
hold on. You mean in a combo
in
or
a combo,
in a block string?
like true Gatling combo style, like Guilty Gear, Now, the reason why this is important is because, as far as I know, and as far as I was told, this was very limited in the Evo build. You are not able to start combos with crouching lights and then go into standing light and then go into crouching medium. You would have to go into standing medium, then heavy. So now you can do crouching, standing, heavy, or crouching, heavy, Anyway, so that's important because if you land that crouching medium and you go into the stand medium, you basically pop them up high enough for an air juggle, and it has to be standing medium because standing mediums are all jump cancelable. So you basically get like, a little low jump air combo off of that. Now, the cool part comes in when you end that air series with the down H. The down H is the alternate version of the heavy attack, where normally you would spike the person down to the ground, but instead you kick them higher into the air. Normally, in most standard combos, if you try to end the combo with that, it will just pop them up and you will not be able to get any extra true damage. You'll probably get a blue combo if they don't tech in time. But with this string specifically,
wait, you said a blue combo?
You know, like when you get the blue counts and when your combo string isn't when your combo string isn't true. You know, your combo count is orange and then it's blue when you fuck up, basically.
Okay.
Now, what's cool about this string is that if you end it with down H, jump down H in the air, it actually causes a launch, like a true launch that they can't tech out of, and it lets you chase afterwards like you would if you were launching on the ground or doing a wall bounce off the ground. And so you basically get to extend your air combo that way. And what's also important about this is you can still get an air spike, I would call it. They call it a smash in the game officially, but I call it the air spike. The difference between the air spike and just a normal hard jump heavy knockdown is that they're going to be able to tech out of that real easily. You know, like the normal knockdown, they're probably not even going to hit the ground before they can tech it.
So they're going to recover really fast.
They're going to recover really fast, and you can't do anything about it. Maybe, you know, in certain situations, you can throw some Oki setups after them if they match hard enough. But in the air spike, in the air smash version of it, they hit the ground for a hard knockdown ground slide.
Oh shit!
So there is a ton of time after they land and you land for you to OTG with a super. Almost every character can do that, as far as I know.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, that's pretty big. And even with 18, I was getting 40% with one bar.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucking
so
great.
With that whole extended combo into a super, you're able to get 40%.
Yeah, exactly. The super would carry it over to 40%. And you know her super doesn't do a lot of damage anyway, so that's like, damn, it's not bad, right?
So, okay. So let's break it down really basic. Basically what you're saying is that this new way that you're starting off a combo allows you to continue for another relaunch after you've already launched them in the air.
Exactly.
For a longer combo, and you can have the air spike cause a capability of an OTG with every character.
Exactly. As long as they have it's most likely going to have to be a super that picks up. So something that'll be angled downward or big enough to hit the hurt box. But as long as they have that, like I was getting it to work with Vegeta, I was getting it to work with Trunks. I didn't try Piccolo, got it to work with Frieza, Cell. So, yeah, it's pretty real.
Okay, I got another question for you.
What's up?
Did you guys try to use an assist to extend the combo?
After the spike?
Yeah.
I tried it a couple times. Now the difficulty in that is the assist is going to come out in relation to what your character's doing, right? So most likely you can see what your character's doing because the camera's following it, but on the ground you can't see anything. Right? You're kind of hoping you're gonna have to judge that distance. You're gonna have to get used to what distance they're at, and then pick the right assist that will extend that combo, so to speak. A good assist for that is Frieza. Frieza has pretty much one of the most versatile assists in the game, where it pretty much goes anywhere during a combo string or during a pressure string, and it picks up, and it's also pretty big. So if you do it early, it actually juggles them in the air anyway. So I was using that to pop people up afterwards, but then I had to time my falling attack with enough time to to catch them on the bounce. And now I also lose the double jump in that sense, so I need to be ready to go with my follow up like that, immediately.
So it wasn't heavily tested.
It wasn't heavily tested. That was something. Well, it was heavily tested by me, but I was trying it with various characters combinations. So I initially just kind of went for who can make the most of it on their own. Trunks can get level 3 from it. Vegeta can get level 1 and level 3. Actually, they both can get level 1 and level 3 from it. 18 can only get level 1 from it. Android 16 can get level 1 from it.
Wait. From an assist? Are you talking about?
No, just from on their own, solo.
Okay, so after the knockdown.
After the knockdown, they can all do supers afterwards.
Yeah, I'm still talking about the assist though.
I tried it with the assist, and I mean, in theory it can work. Like I said, with Frieza, that's probably your best bet to just not worry about where your spacing is in relation to your opponent as they hit the ground in that situation. But with somebody like Vegeta, who while having a really good assist, that shit goes over everything if you're not looking directly at where your opponent is positioned at. So most of the time I was whiffing. when I would call him out
Okay.
after the spike.
Okay, so what this is sounding like is you're gonna need training mode to get that done.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna need training mode for that.
Okay. That's all I'm really trying to find out is if it seems possible, because it seems more of a timing thing than necessarily of like specifically where you're at, depending on the assist.
Right? Yeah. Like it most certainly was a timing thing because you're able to call things out at any moment after the spike. As we know, you can even cancel the spike into a special move. So the versatility is there. You just got to know when to call it.
Let me theory for a little bit, theory fighter for a bit. So what if an assist like Vegeta, which is it like stays out for a while, allows you to land back on the ground and continue a combo? Is that possible? Does that seem possible to you?
So like something that you can kind of just throw out, and by the time that they land, by the time the opponent lands, they're already getting juggled, and you can easily access them for more damage, right?
Well, you said that once they get a knockdown, they're basically got an OTG setup, right?
Right.
So if you could time calling the assist when he gets knocked down and it continue the combo so that by the time you land, can you combo? Is that possible? Do you feel like it's a possibility?
I think that's possible. I think it's very possible. Like I said, it's all going to come down to what characters the player is playing, and they're going to have different timing for that. But I definitely think that extending the combo from the OTG from an assist after the air spike is extremely possible. Maybe there's another route that would make it even easier for other characters and their assists. Because obviously you can still do the teleport after the spike, and that ends up in a wall bounce, and that might be easier to visually time when to call the assist for the pickup, especially somebody like Vegeta. Because at that point, they're just falling through the air, they're bouncing off the wall, they're falling forward, and his fireballs are just raining down, and as soon as one touches, they're going to get locked into that for at least 20 frames, and that's enough time to come in there, run up, finish the do another air series, and probably finish with a super.
Yeah, I definitely think in those situations, like characters that have an assist that hangs out for a while will be a big advantage to make easy combos.
Oh yeah,
or easy extended combos. All right, that's pretty interesting, man. Anything else that's of note that you guys were able to discover that you guys can let us know?
So the air smash that I just discovered, well, not discovered, but what I was talking about. So that was something that we were getting and other people were getting when they were playing this game pretty constantly, but it wasn't consistent, like sometimes you would get that nice zoom in angle, and then other times you would just get that shallow hit that didn't lead to hard knockdown. And the reason why that is because the air smash only occurs in two instances. One being the light attack string where you just mash it 3 times and launch. You can get an air smash situation from that, but weirdly enough, it is techable. It is not a hard knockdown. I'm not sure why that is. It feels like a bug to me. But every other part of that situation is identical to the true version, which is when you launch with down heavy. Every time you launch with down heavy and you end the air string with heavy, it's going to be an air smash hard knockdown, and you'll be able to follow up with a super. So, and it is easy. Like I definitely got the hang of it after 20 seconds, and I think anybody can do this, and you're gonna get pretty good damage for 1 bar. So it's gonna be a nice optimal combo. Then I think people are gonna start focusing on neutral a whole lot more because they're gonna feel like, you know what, maybe my combo game doesn't have to be immaculate and super creative. I don't have to be fucking Desk of DBFZ to be a threat here, especially if my neutral is on point, especially if I have good mix-ups. That's when this game is going to get super competitive and scary.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Max found some crazy shit with Gohan assist. That dude is fucking ridiculous. The situation is you basically put an opponent in block string, and this is going to really expose a need. He argues that this is going to expose a large need for push blocking in this game because, as you know, once somebody starts swinging at you and you already block and it's a true block string, you can't do anything about it. So in this case,
you have to eat it.
You got to eat it, Now, in this case, it's kind of like a modified version of that block string I was doing to Wooly, where he started punishing me with 2H, where I would do, light, medium, and then go into the overhead, right? And if he wasn't blocking, I got that overhead, and then there was nothing behind it because you can't cancel it into anything. But
Yeah.
Eventually, he started punishing it, and it became unsafe for me to do. But with a Gohan assist, it's not only safe, it leads to a 50-50, and it leads to a launch that you can't take out of. Gohan's assist is easily the fastest active assist in the game right now. As soon as he comes out, he's hitting you, you know? So what happens is you execute overhead and you activate the Gohan assist at the same time, and even if they block it, they're going to have to block the Gohan assist last, and it makes your overhead safe, and you can continue pressure. If they don't block it, they get launched for a reset combo. Super big damage.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's just nasty. I'm sure he got a whole bunch of videos of that. There were some other variations that he saw where he would cross people up left, right, call Gohan from behind because it's not a true block string. So that means the opponent has to reset their blocking stance. And yeah, and they get hit from that shit from behind. And as they're getting hit, the original character is doing the super dash.
Shit.
Yeah, so
really interesting.
It is. It's really cool to watch that stuff happen in person. And, you know, shout out to Maximilian for finding all this stuff. You know, like we kind of bounce stuff off each other all day today. And, you know, he had some really impressive discoveries that no one has really shown off in this game so far. I'm not saying 100% that people don't know that it exists, but I haven't seen it, so it's news to me.
Well, I will say that even on the first trip we had up there last time, that Max is probably at the forefront of really analyzing and breaking down the game when we were there. So I'm not surprised that he was doing stuff like that now. I mean, he was probably also the only one that had a setup to himself. Pretty much played all day on his own and was able to break down in whatever way he wanted. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, he's a smart dude.
Yeah, so, extremely.
And he's played other games very at a good level, at a pretty good level, especially with like Marvel games and stuff like that in the past. So I'm not surprised he has that creativity as a player to start figuring stuff out like that, especially at this point when you guys have had some, I mean, decent time at this point.
I mean, yeah, but
with the game,
you have some decent time, but at the same time, you know, like we've only played this game for a total of 12 hours. You know,
that's still a pretty big chunk.
It's a huge.
As much
chunk.
as you want to downplay, like, yeah, I played a lot, but not really.
No, yeah.
I mean,
but you also have to take into account the kind of time we spent with it. You know, like Max spent time to himself just grinding combos out, and you and I spent time just trying to beat the hell out of everybody in the room. So I think our overall gameplay got really good. We didn't really have to explore. We didn't really explore combos because we were too busy figuring out what's safe, how to punish things. And by the way, played Rhyme Style a lot today and played him and his boys, and they got the message. You know, they're like, oh shit, neutral is real in this game. You know, you can't just do whatever you want. Your opponent has almost an answer for everything. Stop super dashing raw. You know, like. You know, they really had to take that into account, and they came away talking to me about, you know, this is almost a completely different game than what I remember it was a month ago, and it's the same build.
Well, the thing is too, right? Like especially when we're watching early gameplay of Dragon Ball Super Dash. I always said Super Dash is hella scrubby right now, and I'm saying that because it's not that good, and people are using it and they're getting away with it. You know, there's an answer for Super Dash, and you're gonna get blown up really fucking hard for it if you keep doing it. And it's really prevalent in matches outside of maybe some of the matches I saw that Max had recorded where there wasn't that much super dashing, but even then there was still a decent amount of super dash.
You saw a couple in there and you're just like, oh man, like that could have been, and after what I just told you, that can be 40%.
See, like, dude, like me and you, right? For instance, I had like 0 combos when I was there playing. However, when I played everybody, dude, I down-aged all their fucking super dashes. Like, I say, like, if they did it 10 times, I was doing it 9 out of 10. You know? Yeah. And I played Max, and Max is still doing super dashes a lot. The thing is like, once we get to the point where your combos are legit after you punish a super dash, then people will stop doing it. Yes. But since right now, the combo ability, or at least our skill level at being able to combo that well, is so low, that it's not that big a deal. But once we can convert that major damage, it's going to be a huge fucking deal because now it's a huge risk if you get punished for it, you know?
Totally. I mean, and what you're describing basically is what I'm, now calling like, the Reynolds mentality where like, I do dumb shit because I don't get punished for it in my local circle, so I will do it in tournament, you know? But you don't want to wait till Evo to get punished for some dumb shit that you knew was bad.
Yeah, no, I always felt that the Super Dash was pretty scrubby, man, especially after finding out that down H is like the ultimate answer. Since like the first time I ever saw the game, I was like, damn, dude, like there's an obvious I think the more not so obvious super dashes are like when you switch characters. Like maybe that's a little bit tougher. Like when you have a tag and it comes in, you kind of don't see that coming too quick because it comes off screen. Versus when somebody just super dashes raw, like there's a startup, dude fucking powers up and then he dashes and you can punish the shit out of it.
Yeah, and you know what? Like a lot of people don't want to block it, and I agree. Like at first we didn't want to block it. We were just like screw it, we'll just stuff it. And stuffing it is very easy. So not to say that you shouldn't go this route, but if you miss the counter hit, there's always the block. And then the down H. And the cool thing about that is like almost everybody has a far-reaching down H that will either push them forward, or it's already big enough to hit them in the air. And I almost guarantee every time somebody gets their super dash blocked right now, they're not blocking. They're going for another attack. And they're gonna eat it. They're gonna eat it every time.
That is a really good point. So something I've seen across the board in almost every video, I don't give a fuck how good of a player you are. And like you can think of the best players that have had a chance to play this game. Every player has done this where they super dash and then it gets blocked and then they press another button afterwards, like almost automatically. Like you forget how fucking good that down H is. Like it's really fucking good. And unless you have some type of setup to counterattack somebody mashing down H after you block a super dash,
you're gonna eat 40% minimum.
You're gonna eat shit. You're gonna eat shit. It's just the way it is. That's the type of thing that I look into in the game, right? Just because, like you said, we had a lot of time, kind of, as far as like gameplay goes, right? Yeah. Like as far as like trying to figure out the spacing, footsies, and like the meta of the game. Like I really didn't get a chance to get too deep into the combo system. But as far as what I've seen in gameplay, yeah, those are things that you're not going to see in videos so far. I don't even think you're really going to see that too much in the first videos that you see of people playing each other, outside of people that have already gone through that problem.
Right.
It's just like, for instance, when people first start playing the game, they're probably going to eat shit off of Piccolo like a lot, where it's not real. Some of those things aren't as good as you think they are until people make it that fucking good and haven't. Piccolo's whole homing spirit stuff is an illusion at first as to how good it is, but until people start using it with assists and like being more creative as to how they set it up, then it'll be good. But most people aren't going to use it that way day one because they don't really understand how gameplay plays out or how to counterattack certain things, because that hasn't happened. People haven't had enough time with the game. And then it's not like it's going to be an all-day beta where we just fucking grind out. Like, you have a set amount of time to get a certain amount of matches. And if you get those matches going, it is a beta.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. Like, to be honest with you, straight up, I don't think you guys are going to see the potential of this game even, maybe 50 to 45% of what it's possible. I say that's a pretty I
think that's fair because there is footage that has come out because of that Xbox One leak. By the way, we're talking about the fact that apparently the Xbox One Dragon Ball FighterZ beta servers were up last night for 6 hours, and so people were streaming and recording match footage and came away with some pretty impressive footage, ironically from the Xbox community. Wow, right?
I have no idea what that means.
I'm gonna get blown up for that. I know
that sounds like some shade I don't even think it was deserved. But
I was like, just unwarranted shade. I don't even have nothing against Xbox, but I'm like, let me just piss on Xbox real quick. Yeah. So there was for sure some match footage. CD Junior, Manny.
Oh, yeah.
He got us hip to that footage, and it's like there was stuff in there that I was trying out today, you know, that I was like, how the hell did these guys get a hold of this kind of combo technology this early? You know, they're doing shit that no one would have ever thought to do before, especially no one would ever think to do within an hour of playing the game, you know. But they did it, so they're just geniuses, I guess.
That's different though. There's been a lot of footage, right, and that can spark a lot of different routes. Even me watching a shitload of videos, like my perspective on the game has changed a lot.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Even on characters, which characters are really good, which characters are going to be really bad. I feel like right now, currently, outside of maybe 2 characters, I have a pretty good grasp of like who's going to be really fucking good and who's probably not going to be that good. And then on top of that, you know, there's a lot of people. I'm not a person that really looks at the combo potential because people are going to figure that out for me. I would be honest with you. Like, there's people that are on that shit that's not my forte anyways. I'll just take whatever's good.
Yeah, like guys like you and me are not going to try to be the combo creators for this game. That totally belongs to the people who are talented at that, and we await their work and we will bite that shit. So please hurry up. But
yeah, and that's not even what interests me in games in general. I lean towards how does gameplay work though. You're coming out with these cool strategies, but how does it work in an actual match? That's the shit that I get off of when I watch something like, oh shit, that was a sick setup. Like, dude, I was watching a bunch of Android 18 videos, right? And I'm like, fuck, dude, like this is one of those characters that she'll have major comeback ability because she doesn't have to put herself out there as a single character to convert damage or make opportunities happen. Like, I was trying to figure out a way to make Krillin work in this game, right? And I'm like, dude, this character is just so fucking risky for no good fucking reason. Like, in order for you to make something happen, you absolutely need a fucking assist. There's just no way that character can be successful without an assist. So if you got Krillin on anchor, you're super fucked. Like,
what's the point, man?
bro, because I was watching the videos and I was like, dude, like everything that he does is not fast enough to convert in a game that can be pretty fast. Like, say you're playing 18, say you're Krillin, you're playing against 18. It's like, holy fuck, dude, you gotta block a shitload of stuff and take hella risks, like so many risks. And then you gotta think about even possibly, for instance, I really like 16. And he also has to take a lot of risks, despite him having
all that armor,
able to convert better for his risks. You know, like Krillin doesn't convert that much for his risks, but 16 is like the way better version of the same type of gameplay style as far as playing risky goes in fighters right now. But you convert way more fucking damage. And then I think next in line to somebody that plays really well on their own is maybe like Piccolo, because if he scores an opportunity, he can set up a homing sphere and like at least make you deal with it.
Yeah, especially on Wake Up, like that's just something you got to hold. Like you can't. I'm not saying you can't do anything, but if he does 2 medium, like if he does down medium, sweeps you, and then cancels in the homing sphere off of that, you're blocking it. Nothing else is gonna happen. And then
dude, and I was watching Max's videos like a lot because I think he had some of the best. Not necessarily like heavy combo damage in his videos, but whoever was playing 18 knew very well how to do setups with the character and be very ambiguous, or it's like lay on some really thick mix-ups. And I was thoroughly impressed. Like, holy shit, man! And they did exactly what I thought that character was capable of doing, and they almost made a reverse OCV with 18. And I was like, that's the shit I'm fucking talking about. That shit is going to be so valuable because right now, think about it. Say you got Goku on anchor. What is he going to set up? What is he going to do? Is he going to super dash all day? Because I feel like that's what people are doing.
He's pretty linear. No, you're right. He is pretty linear. And so seeing Goku up front, or rather in the back, after 2 characters have died, if he gets sparking going, then, you know, obviously he's got some roots around there because, you know, sparking changes some of the properties of the basic universal system, and some of those changes allow you to open people up, especially with the teleport option. But I see what you're saying, where he's like, okay, Goku better get them hits like real quick, especially if he's in sparking mode. Otherwise, he's going to waste it, and he's going to be back to being very linear and unthreatening. Overall, though, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I think like he doesn't have as much comeback potential as 18, who can not only do that safe pressure from a distance, but once she smells blood, her actual momentum-based pressure is pretty ridiculous.
She has a fucking command grab.
Yeah.
On top of that, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm saying about this character. This character versus everybody else. Here's the thing. Like, if you've ever played a Guilty Gear type game or a BlazBlue type game, it's like a lot of the best characters are the ones that have the best risk versus reward, where it's like, I get to put you in a mix up like almost for nothing, you know?
Are you talking about the chip players, huh? Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's more than just chip players.
Well, that's literally
like Raven, you eat the fucking fireball.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. Or like Milia can set you up with the fucking nasty ass mix up once you eat the fireball. Like, it's like, okay, my turn. You gotta eat shit. You know, and I feel like 18 is gonna be that character, and then from there, it varies from like not being that oppressive, right, or create that many options,
right? For example, as good as I think Vegeta is, he's definitely he's more middle of the road in terms of where he wants to be on the map versus somebody like 18 who can kind of play all over the place. Like Vegeta just wants to be not on defense, but he's not going to be amazing on offense either.
I definitely think that character, if it's on a team, you have to sculpt that team around her, because the problem is that her assist is
garbage. I mean, it's good,
not an offensive one,
right?
To me. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, it can be used that way, but the situation that would require it to be used that way rarely ever comes up. You're basically just calling the barrier while you set up something that has slow startup. You know?
Exactly. And the thing is, it's like, even if you call it, like, sure, if you get it an Oki, that's great, but in neutral, it's not gonna net you offense, which to me in these games, like, dude, offense is it. That's where the fucking game's at. You should not be trying, let me fucking work my defensive skills in this game. Like, offense is everything. You got to try to be on offense at all fucking times. You're fighting for offense and to set up your offense. As soon as you're on defense, just like any...
I'm not going to say you lost when you get on defense, but I think that you are definitely not in a position to be, you know, making the tide of the battle change, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing I'm thinking about in the future, man. Like, okay, the hypest moments in games, really for me, are the strategic comebacks, right? How can you create a team that allows you to make a comeback? Let's just think about our experience with fighting games, right? Like, we're KOF players. Let's think about 13. Why was Kim a fucking anchor on so many teams when we played 13?
I mean, overhead led to everything. Had an air overhead that was a hard knockdown. Easy damage on a lot of it. EX on Getsuzan.
So many. Basically, the comeback ability with that character is fucking huge.
Yeah.
Right. And when you go across the board, where it's like, if I can get some momentum going, I could change the tide of this game. Now, for other characters, it's like you have to do that multiple times, like over and over, and you may not get that look. Like you mentioned, the teleport vanish, the vanish capability in the game, right?
Right.
Like you don't convert that much off of that.
No, you don't.
You know,
you have to have the sparking version, and that has to be you basically have to be like, he swung, I'm gonna do neutral teleport and then punish with a jump in and then do more damage. But like, what if it never comes? You know?
Exactly. So I think that is gonna be the backbone of this game. So I'm very curious as to how these other characters are gonna play, because if we don't have either more characters like 18, where they have that capability, or assists are super good, like how you're saying that max breakdown that you gave me earlier is really interesting, right? So you got to consider when you're making up these teams. Okay, let's say Android 18 is the backbone of my team. You have to consider that her assist is not an offensive one. So what does that mean? that means that you have to find characters that make up for not having that offensive assist.
Right.
To create opportunities. Let's just say if Android 18 gets killed, you know, so now you have the option to make something happen with these other characters, right? So that's why for me, it's like in that situation, I would have Piccolo, because Piccolo has a pretty decent assist where it allows you to set up some type of mix-up if you could lock somebody down.
Yeah, and you know? I think you can't, well, because of the way ArcSys games work, there's no like tight windowed, true unblockable string, you know? So right. You're always going to be able to block that cross-up that he does. But the point is that he keeps you blocking for so long because of that you're pretty much fodder for whatever the hell the actual player character is going to do next. So, and meanwhile, that character gets to decide to do whatever the fuck it wants to, you know? Like, they can do overhead, you know, if they got a command grab, go for that dragon rush. Like, there's like so many things that are capable of happening after Piccolo assist, and that's if it gets blocked. If it gets hit, like, oh man, like if it hits anything, it's actually pretty lucrative. I found that out like today.
It's so wild that, dude, I really been stuck on 18 because I'm like, fuck, dude, this character has a command grab, has safe setups without fucking the need of an assist. It's like, fuck, that's such a scary ass fucking character.
Yeah,
like I'm over here tripping balls over Trunks having his level 3 via command grab. I'm like, fuck, this guy's neutral's way too fucking good.
I mean, it is. But like, yeah, I feel you.
But it costs, you know?
Yeah.
Like, his command grab costs. So that's different. So having a character like that is like, right now, I feel she's like low key right now, and I feel like people want to keep it low key as far as people that have touched her.
For sure.
But I know people that like her a lot and see her potential. I'm like, I'm not gonna say shit until like we really break this shit down, because I have a feeling that we might run into some serious problems with that chick.
I mean, we'll find out this week, and we've been talking about it. We actually forgot to mention it. This is basically the whole reason why we have a show today, is that the closed beta is happening this Saturday at 2 a.m. and apparently we got lobbies.
That's okay. That is something I definitely wanted to talk to you about. Mm-hmm. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Like, I don't know what to what extent that they exist in. Like, we've saw some video footage of it, and I'll post that in the chat later on. Actually, let me see if I can pull up something now for you guys to watch. But basically, they've got the lobby open. I haven't heard any confirmation on whether or not the matchmaking in the lobby is working. It looks like it is, because they definitely have the area that, I mean, appears to be the matchmaking area open. Let me see if I can get that up real quick.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole thing, having a lobby is just gonna be great, just for the simple fact of, like, if we want to test stuff out, you know,
right?
Let alone play you guys and have a capability of playing everybody that wants to play us, or us, the goons, getting together and having a fucking kumite, you know, and really showing who's king, who the fuck's King Goon. Because I tell you what, Gibby's reign is soon to be fucking over.
You think days are numbered?
Bro, it's just, first of all, you gotta stay up with the games too, man. You can't just be King Goon just off of KOF. Like, I'm sorry, like, you gotta play something else, you know. So yeah, basically, and then I gotta battle it out for low life Goon, because I'm at the bottom tier right now. Right now, Hell Pockets is Duke of Goons right now.
Oh man,
so,
it's a special honor to be Duke of Goons, aka second best Goon. But I mean, yeah, man, you gotta get that. You gotta get it back, dude. Like, you cannot let me take the honor of second best Goon, because I honestly don't know how to handle the responsibility.
Hey, listen, man. Sometimes you gotta take that L to get that W.
I mean, you're right.
I'm in it for the long. I'm in it for the long haul, man.
I'm not even gonna talk shit, because I know that it's gonna be like 10 times as bad when I get it back. So I'm like, let me just let me see how he grows. If I can beat him the next time, then I might, you know, inch out there a little bit. Like, okay, yeah, maybe I deserve this. Well,
I feel like you got a few strides on me right now, for sure.
Oh yeah,
definitely got some real good strides, because I got 0 combos, and though I feel my neutral will probably be better if I can't fucking do damage. Like, I'm not gonna be winning matches. Like, it's just the way it's gonna go.
I mean, but that's cool though, because like I think the way of getting damage is going to be so easy now that you'll get it. It won't be a problem. I think you'll be perfectly comfortable with the way that you get damage in this game. And if not, I'll do my best to show you. You know.
Yeah, after you wax me.
Oh yeah, that'll be part of the wax. That'll be part of the lesson. You know. I've shown you how to do this. Now prepare to be waxed. All right, so this video footage comes to us courtesy of PS3 360 HD on YouTube. You can follow him at youtube.com/PS360HD2. And let me just pull this up for you guys real quick. And oh, whoops, there it is. So this is the lobby. This is the lobby that everybody's been talking about, and well, rather I've been talking about, and it's been going on. And so this is what footage from yesterday, from last night. Apparently nobody knew it was happening. So as you can see, the lobby is not very full. They have a replay area where you can watch game replay, match replays. I don't know if anybody has recorded a whole bunch of them yet. I heard that there was something like that going on. The one thing that I'm not seeing from this video, and I'll spoil it right now, is how exactly the matchmaking worked, because they have that one area that has the arena battle stage area, which it sounds like where you would match up with people, but it doesn't display how that works. The reason why this is important is because our buddy Rhymestyle, a fellow goon, made an informational video where he basically said, you know, all the matches are going to be randomized. And
God, that kind of bummed me out. But
it bummed me out too, honestly. I mean, not only because we can't, you know, maybe test netcode in optimal setups and optimal situations, but also because we had a lot of ideas around it. You know, like it wasn't like, you know, we were gonna do like the kumites, the goon, the boot camps, whatever, right? Yeah. So unfortunately, we hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully there is a matchmaking system in here, but I just don't see it happening here. I don't see it in this video.
So the reason I'm excited for lobbies is that we can actually create content that is entertaining, or at least more entertaining, because, you know, let me tell you something, man. There's a few people that have touched this game, and almost everybody I talk to thinks they're this shit. Like, especially if they're like a decent player in another game, they're like, yeah, I'm fucking nice right now. and you know, I want to see how they do. That's all. You know, I want to see what.
You want to see if it's real?
What they're up to.
If the smooth.
Yeah, because like, dude, I've seen some of these people's neutral, and they're not using a lot of shit. Like, there's a lot of shit they're not using. They're like totally leaving out complete movesets from their characters and shit. And I'm like, hey, how come you guys don't use any Trunks' other moves, like fuck it, or like
what difference does it make, right?
Yeah, fuck that. I'm just gonna do the jumpy, sorty, slashy shit, you know.
I mean, I won't lie. As a Trunks player, I definitely get hyped for air shining slash. You know, I'm kind of a whore for that shit. So you're gonna see me do that every now and then, and know that when I do it. Know that when I do it, just block high, because it's an overhead and most likely is not a real block string because it's super slow. But yeah, you're right. You know, like I think this is, if we can get enough people in on this, they're going to they're for sure going to be like, you know, hey, I may need to train on this game a little bit more. You know, I may not have as much as I thought I had. That being said, there are definitely some legit players already. I think that Nakiel for sure is going to be one of those, if he isn't already one of those legit players. You can see on the video here that it just randomly goes into the match. I think that was the channel's editor editing that in. I don't know if it was actually just like, I don't think the game would randomly just connect you like it did. You know, that seems kind of jarring. You don't even get the chance to say yes or no. You'll also notice that you can see the delay frames at the top of the screen, just like you would in Guilty Gear Xrd. So that's present here. This is probably not going to be a very good match because it's like 9 frames of delay, but whatever. Shit, I can play in any environment though, you know? I'm not going to bitch.
Yeah, and you were mentioning Nakiel, and by far his video that he has posted on, I believe it's his, or I think it's on his channel. I don't know offhand what it is, but he has a video. Oh, Steve had posted it. That's where it's from. Tasty Steve had posted a video of Nakiel playing Tatsu, a SoCal player, also very very good at the game so far, and I think he won a few tournaments at Evo or one of them.
Yeah.
They had a really good match against each other, and Nakiel looked very impressive. He felt very natural as far as movement goes and as far as neutral and all that. And he's definitely one of the players that have impressed me as far as an all-around good player, like taking advantage of the combo system, also having decent neutral so far. However, guys, it's so fucking early in this game.
Yeah, I wouldn't even trip.
We're hinging on shit, and I know it's because we don't have a lot of content out, or there's not a lot of stuff out there, and we're nipping at every fucking chance that we get, at any content that we get. But like, that is such the tip of the iceberg, and if you like that, like, just wait till people get a real good crack at this, or until like when they have the open beta, if they have a training mode, it's fucking game, dude. Like,
oh yeah,
like fuck, like, I will say this, as of right now, even the people that have extensive time to play the game, I don't think they have that big of a leg up as people may think.
I think just an overall experience with the system they do, and that's got a shelf life of what, like maybe 30 minutes?
Dude, especially once training mode comes out, all that shit goes out the window because people are going to figure it out super fast.
That's what I mean. You can't be the scummy guy at the arcade forever that's just beating people down while they try to learn. Eventually, they're going to find out the home version, you know, and they're going to be...
Okay, so this could turn into a Marvel situation where close to around the game, people get an early copy of the game to promote it or whatever. Like, I actually feel like that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, I could see that happening. And now the thing about that is, like, you know, who gets it?
Well, so far, I mean, as far as like Marvel goes, I don't think they have like people who are heavily just personalities that are YouTube people, right? Like most of the people that got early access to it were top players, right?
In Marvel, yeah,
because they have a lot of notoriety versus Dragon Ball is going to be kind of different, where I feel a lot of like straight up personalities are going to get the game probably early. So, but on top of that, you know, there's a big network, and I feel like there will be a decent amount of top players. However, how many people are really going to go balls deep in Dragon Ball at this point? We don't know until the game comes close to release, right? And then the CPM war is real with a lot of people. So we've already seen that with how Marvel's gone this week. So
people are upset, but it's all right.
Yeah, dude, people are up in arms about that, and it's like, I definitely see some people who aren't that big of Marvel fans like streaming that shit too. Like, I got an early copy, man.
Now, no lie, like there is a chance that, you know, people in the FGC could get Dragon Ball FighterZ early, and we know most likely who those people are going to be. At least you can already list off the top of your head, maybe Justin.
Usual suspects.
Usual suspects, right? But because this game is an Arc Sys Works game, and because it's a Dragon Ball Z game, so the Dragon Ball fandom latches hold of that, I almost feel like the furor around that is going to be even worse, you know? Like, I feel like that it's already kind of bad because people can't get into beta. Like, the people who got rejected and they sent out the rejection letters today, like, I feel like they hate us.
I don't feel the hate.
Maybe it's just me. Like,
I feel the hate towards Bandai not letting them in. The thing is like, I don't know about you, but I didn't rub it in anybody's face. I got a beta.
I tried not to rub it in anybody's face, but every time I like put something out there, people are like, "You in the beta already, dog?" I'm like, "Oh shit."
Look, man, it sucks because it's like, yeah, we got in the beta, but so many people that we want to get in the beta too didn't get in.
I know, man.
And it's a shitty feeling of like, fuck yeah, but fuck, you guys didn't get in.
We got survivor's guilt, man.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, man, like, this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's a big fucking deal right now, but it's not gonna be. Like, this shit, it feels like it's it's like when you're in high school and you think like, oh, this is it, man. My senior year, if I don't make it happen right now, it's fucking over. If I don't get a piece of this beta, like it's the end of the world. It's like, and I'm definitely coming from a place of privilege right now. What I'm saying. I know exactly what I'm saying, because it's like when those Instagram models be giving you advice about life. I'm like, oh man, shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna take your advice on life, please. So I know, take it with a grain of salt. You know, I mean, it is coming from a place of privilege, but however, it is a fact that, dude, this is a very short-term thing. You know, open beta is gonna be where it's really at. You know?
Open beta is, now that we have closed beta upon us, I almost feel like that I'm almost more hyped for that than this weekend. You know, like, the ability to play this game at almost its full potential to my heart's content for almost a month. I pre-ordered, so I get the early access too, you know. I feel like that's when we're going to really see some shit start flying, you know. That's when people are really going to start staking their claim, saying, you know what, I will money match people in this game confidently. And I will take that money.
You know what's interesting is that I think we're going to be able to learn a lot from the release of Marvel, since we were talking about that earlier.
Surely,
it's like there are gonna be a lot of people that have experience with the game already, and I think the way you take advantage of that, outside of having people be in the tournament, and I think Justin Wong touched on it, like, man, like, I've had a lot of experience with this game. I don't feel like it's right attending the tournament.
Yeah, good shit on him for doing that, by the way.
I don't necessarily feel like good shit. I feel like he kind of took advantage of the situation. Like, not trying to talk shit, but what it is like, it sucks because it kind of shames other people from going into a tournament. It's like, oh fuck, now you're trying to make me look like an asshole for entering a tournament.
Well, you got to own it then. You know, if you're gonna go in and be like, yeah, I'm an asshole, give me your money.
Yeah, it's not like he hasn't totally done it before. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, the consistency. But anyways, yeah, what I'm saying is how we can take advantage of that. Yeah, it probably will be a bad idea to enter. And yeah, it is a shout out for him for really at least taking a move forward to doing the right thing, you know. But in saying that, I feel like there's an opportunity that you can take in the exhibitions, right? I feel like there are a few tournaments coming up around the time when the release is out. Like, I think NCR usually runs around a similar time frame, at least within a month or a month and a half. Around
yeah, usually around the springtime. So like you would see NCR as early as late March or as late as maybe mid-April.
Yeah. So I think around that time, and if I don't know if there's like a minor delay or anything. Let's just say it's a similar situation about SCR, right? Because SCR is like fucking. Though, is it the week of release for Marvel?
SCR?
Yeah.
Wait, is that next weekend?
Yeah, I'm thinking it is.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess yeah. It basically is. Yeah.
So see, it might not even be that big of a deal because, you know, that's pretty fucking like very limited time to let somebody get some games in.
Yeah, I don't really see that being, you know, So I don't see that being something that he or anybody else in his position is going to be like, oh yeah, I can't let this opportunity pass, you know?
Yeah, and straight up, man, if there's a fucking release tournament, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I'm fucking entering. Like, like if there's a release party tournament at like a GameStop and they give you like a free joystick or something.
Well, for Dragon Ball FighterZ?
Yeah, I will scumbag my ass off and go and play that.
Ban the testers.
And still come in third.
You got like a dev in there or some shit. Yeah, I mean, like if there's a launch tournament for this game, I'm definitely in there, you know. I'm gonna enter. It's just because I want to play. And all because we've had a head start on the game doesn't mean we've played people. We've played each other, played a certain select group of people, but the general, you know, experience of playing tons of people in one tournament is not yet there yet. So, you know, entering an early tournament does give you that experience that you can't normally get at home, even if you're one of the best in the world, you know. There's always someone out there with an idea that you didn't think of, and you need to see it.
Yeah, there's a cool thing that happened. I'm gonna take it all the way back when Street Fighter 4 came out, and there's fuck, what's it? God, I forget the metaphor. A double-sided sword. What the fuck is it called?
Double-edged sword.
It's two sides to this, right? Like, there's like, oh, it's great that there's not a lot of like release parties that pretty much takes up all the talent of the FGC in one place, right? So I feel that's a good thing. I think it kind of sucks because double-edged sword, yeah. So I think it kind of sucks because a lot of people don't go to these local release events, and I feel like when somebody shows up to one of those that's a really good player, that they have an opportunity to build on the community. Now, I don't know how many people are thinking about that, but I feel like that had an effect back in the Street Fighter 4 era where, like, I met a lot of people that were into the game, and then all of a sudden they turned me on to, like, other tournaments that are happening or other places to go practice playing the game, you know? Or with any releases before that. Because I think, like game release parties really started getting big around, like, what, the PS3 era?
Yeah. That would be around the time that Street Fighter 4, Cross Tekken, Marvel, that's when you saw like the business model of nightclub release party on a Wednesday. That's when those really started sprouting up, you know? Especially up here in NorCal, where Capcom is stationed at. You would see them throw, you know, nightclub gala events for Street. They threw it for Cross Tekken, they threw it for Marvel. And I mean it was cool and everything, but I don't know if that would really work for this kind of setting, you know.
Oh shit! Here we go. Like Chris is throwing shade in a direction that probably doesn't garner the shade.
I just don't like clubs. That's all I'm saying. Don't make me go to any more nightclubs to play fighting games. That's all I'm asking for.
Oh, they legitimately did those in nightclubs.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like they made you. Like you left Evo before the after party. And the after party was in one of the nightclubs in Mandalay Bay. And, you know, it's what you would expect from a Mandalay Bay nightclub, but the entire experience was just fucking awful for me, even with all my friends there. So, plus they only had Street Fighter 5 to play. That sucked. So I guess maybe if if the Dragon Ball FighterZ release party is in a nightclub, then at least Dragon Ball FighterZ will be there, and I'll be able to ignore all the crap I hate about nightclubs. But most likely it's going to be at the Foundry.
All right, look, I don't know about the release of the game, but let me tell you something. The whole point we're doing this stuff, the whole reason why we're trying to push this game, as a result of our efforts, next year at EVO, we'll definitely have a Game Boost fleet. And like places like that is where I feel people have their most fun.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Because it puts you in a situation where it's not like, I feel like people have to buy into the whole club setting. You know, like, oh, you got to go get dressed.
Yeah.
You gotta go try to holler at chicks.
I mean, that part is fun. I don't mind doing that, but it's like, you know.
Yeah, but not everybody is comfortable in like, oh, now I'm in a setting where it's like that, you know? I feel like, for instance, we did the suite for KOF this past EVO, and I feel like an atmosphere like that is better for the community, because at the end of the day, man, it really kind of doesn't make sense to me that stuff like that is done for the community, which are the most people that go to those events, and it's not really catering to them, you know, as far as like the venue goes.
Right. You know, it's kind of more like, hey, like the thing that I got from an event like that, and the thing that the impression that I would get if DBFZ had a release like that would be more geared towards people like investors, esports interests, casuals, obviously, and more or less just further purporting the, not illusion, but just the idea that games are part of the mainstream and they belong in the same setting as overpriced liquor.
Yeah, like, are we in fact gonna be able to get Lupe Fiasco at our release?
hey, that guy actually, like, Lupe Fiasco legit was like, when, like, you heard about that Street Fighter 5 thing he had that was in tandem with his album release, right?
Of course. Yeah.
So he did that, and at the time, Dragon Ball Super was like still pretty brand new. Like I was, I mean, it didn't matter. I was still, nonstop Dragon Ball talk on Twitter like any other day, right? And this dude straight up like called me out like on Twitter because I told him I was showing up, and he was like, "Man, like you don't even play Street Fighter." I was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, you're just coming here to talk about Dragon Ball." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess I am." He's like, "That's cool." So he wants this kind of shit. He wants to be in on this. I wouldn't be surprised if he helps promote Dragon Ball FighterZ. Considering how down he was to play Street Fighter V, he should be doubly down to play Dragon Ball FighterZ. Because if it's two of its interests in one game.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is like that dude's like a legitimate he does music.
No, yeah, he does.
I feel like he's pretty preoccupied at the moment because there was a time for a while where he was all in on the FGC, and I feel like he's definitely in that phase right now where he's trying to get this music shit going.
No, and more power to him for doing that, Like, I don't expect him to be like, hey, like, let me money match people and show up to tournaments again, Like, if he's working, then he's working, and I wish him the best. But, I mean, there's always room for a retweet. There's always room for, like, hey, I'm digging this. There's always room to watch the stream. And that's what he really was all about.
Listen. I'm trying to get Drake and Josh, the whole Nickelodeon family, Amanda Bynes in and playing all this shit.
You want Amanda Bynes up in there? We want Amanda Bynes crazy ass in this motherfucker. Okay.
Hell yeah,
Jesus, dude.
I'm trying to bring back the whole cast of all trying to play this game.
Jesus. What about
Keenan and Kel, bro. Get Keenan and Kel on this shit.
They're not even talking to each other anymore. No, yeah, I feel you, man. Like, and I think that, like, despite how big the previous Dragon Ball games have been in terms of how they advertise them and the scope of like how they were designed, I don't think it has nearly as much grabbing power as FighterZ does. You combine the just the beauty of an Arc Sys game currently with the current atmosphere of FGC esports, with most likely what's going to be, the California scene promoting it almost exclusively. Not that East Coast or anybody else doesn't have a hand in doing it. Obviously, their input is very much appreciated, and they should also be encouraged to run their own events for release and whatnot if they can do that. I would like to see that happen. But, Bamco is in NorCal. And most likely they're going to be tapping, old boy Seg over there. Say, hey, can you run our inaugural release party stream? Because, we heard you're the best. So, like, I don't see how it couldn't drag in all those big names, Not necessarily Nickelodeon, obviously, but like just the potential to pull in that kind of attention is very much there. And as much as I dislike the nightclub release party, I think Dragon Ball FighterZ definitely has a place in that.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to get Rick Fox at my fucking...
I forgot about that dude, man.
What? How could you forget about Rick Fox?
I keep forgetting that he owns Echo Fox, dude.
Yeah, Shaq's going to be there. Rick Fox is going to be there.
Oh, I'm about to beat Shaq's ass in this game, dude.
Marshawn Lynch is about to show up.
Oh, he going to get bodied too, man. I don't care. Like... I'm a Niner.
Well, I was saying, like I agree, man. I think Dragon Ball FighterZ has mass appeal. Like, it has like Xenoverse has a certain mystique about it that is not. I don't think it caters to mass appeal type stuff. It caters to Dragon Ball fans,
right?
Like there's people that I know that don't really fuck with Dragon Ball. It's like that. I don't really fuck with Dragon Ball, but that game was fucking dope.
Yeah, basically, right? There's a lot of people that straight up told me like, I don't fuck with Dragon Ball. Or they don't mess with freaking fighting games. That's also true. And they're looking at this and saying, you know what? This, as a visual piece of media, is so impressive that I'm willing to break my one rule of not liking Dragon Ball or playing fighting games this one time.
So I urge all the viewers to take a really good look at how Pocket's mug right now. Because once that release party goes off, this motherfucker's about to go into the stratosphere of esports celebrities.
I'm going to be high as a kite
Just for the simple fucking fact that this guy is just so fucking unavoidable in the room. It's like, who the fuck is that guy? Like, if you've never seen Hell Pockets in person, this guy is statuesque.
Oh, thank you. That is definitely the nicest way I've heard somebody putting that ever.
Hey, man, you know, I got to look out for a fellow goon, even though we shit on each other constantly.
Oh, of course, yeah. You know, it's the Goon way. Goon Nation, shout-outs.
Yeah, man, and I'm just trying to grab onto the cape so I can get on the ride, you know?
Dude, I keep telling you, man, like, it's not even about, like, it's not even about, like, the cape that I'm wearing, you know? I think that anybody who has something worthwhile to say about this game is going to be heard. I don't think it's going to be one of those things where, like, people are going to be frozen out because they don't run with the right crew or because they didn't get to the information soon enough, and so there's no reason to listen to them, you know? Maybe somebody has a certain level of insight that is, you know, maybe it's of a similar tone to what is already out there, but maybe it offers some elements that, you know, somebody might have missed, especially when the second pair of eyes got on it, you know? So I encourage everybody, when this game comes out, when beta drops, when we do beta this weekend, to just consume as much media around this game as physically and metaphysically as possible.
Yeah.
Just take it all in. There's literally no reason not to, because we know about maybe, after what I saw today, I can safely say we probably know about maybe 15% of what this game has to offer. And we're going to find out so much more this weekend.
Yeah, man. Most importantly, though, is it's a good chance for some community shit outside of us just streaming this podcast here with Paozu Arcade.
Oh, yeah.
Finally, we get a way to interact with you guys through the medium of Dragon Ball FighterZ and to share our love by whooping that ass.
Yes, it will be no mercy for at least 12 hours this weekend. Do not expect us to go easy on you, because I honestly don't know how to. I don't know how to sandbag in this game yet.
Well, just us. I know how to be a scumbag. I can just super dash all day and wait for you to see what you do.
Wait for you to figure out what to do about it. If you don't do anything about it, then it's going to keep coming. But I don't know how to purposefully just, you know, other than drop combos, and that's going to happen either way. Because although I don't know, I think my combos are pretty tight by the end of the day.
I could just let you land super dashes all day.
Oh, man.
That's how I say it.
I don't even super dash anymore, man. There's just, like, once you stop doing it, there's just no reason to ever do it again, because you're like, you know what? I have air dashing. I have ground run. I have teleport. I have, you know, walk forward and block. There's just so many ways to get close to an opponent, and you have assist too. Like, the full screen super dash will feel like the dumbest moment in your FGC career after you get used to not doing it anymore.
That's right, and I will in fact hit that down H on your super dash. Quote me on this, even if there's 6 frames of fucking lag, I'll still.
Dude, if you think about it, if you're in a position where most people are probably going to super dash, which is like, you know, so far away that they're just like, well, I either fire a random super or I go in there, right? That means there's no reason for you not to be buffering down H.
Okay, so I think it's safe to say we reached the point of the podcast where we could start answering some of these questions.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, sure. If we got any in the chat, if we got any in the Discord. Oh, we do have some in the Discord. Cool. Do we have any from, this one's from yesterday, from last week. Okay.
Well, I want to answer the one that Rod CU asked, because that's actually a really good question.
Okay, so this is the first question that we're going to answer tonight from Rod CU. He's watching in the chat. Shout outs to Rod. Will Game Goons host online tournaments?
You better fucking believe it at some point.
I mean, it's kind of what we do, right? We kind of host these like online play sessions, online commentary, boot camp sessions. And yeah, I think that an online tournament is very much in the cards for us in this game, especially if it's built into the actual game. You know, like if it's actually built into the game's UI where you can run tournaments with online players, like, yeah, you better believe it, because that takes all the work out of our hands. Now, if it's one of those things where it's like one and done and then you advance and there's no double elimination, then we might actually do some kind of hand bracket, I like to call it, style tournament where we actually run brackets and do double elimination and 3 out of 5s and what? Well, not. What do you think? 3 out of 5 for this?
Well,
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
Shit.
2 out of 3.
You motherfucker! You brought that conversation into this. Don't start that, man.
That's a different conversation. We'll do that next after the beta.
We haven't even started our official TOing, and you're already digging us in the ditch.
Debated.
So yeah. To answer your question, more likely than not, we will definitely be doing some tournaments. Actually, I really, really, really do want to do some tournaments.
I do too. This is gonna be really fun.
We've done it for KOF before, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
So we definitely have people on deck that are good at doing stuff like that, and if we can all organize and make it happen, I think we owe it to ourselves and to the community to provide an entertaining and a high level of participants, and I feel like we can actually make that happen. Versus maybe, I don't know, I'm sure there's a lot of people going to be dipping in that, so just another tournament for you guys to be involved with would be great.
All right. We also have another question from. Actually, did we answer this Lionheart 16 question from last week, where we thought who we thought the final boss was going to be? I feel like we did talk about that. Oh yeah, we did, because we ended up answering the question: Big Bang Kamehameha or Final Kamehameha. That was from last week. So the next question comes from Davimon DLH. Have you looked at Butoden to theorize characters? That's something that we talk about, or at least I talk about constantly.
Yeah, Outpockets is on that Butoden shit like since before the game was even announced.
Dude. I've been on that shit since birth, baby. Butoden is actually, at least Extreme Butoden, I've been saying repeatedly that it is pretty much what I would expect part of the cast to look like. I think there's enough characters in Butoden to fit into this cast, plus with FighterZ originals only. We already see that happening with Android 16. Android 16 was not in Extreme Butoden, but he is in FighterZ. So I think in addition to him and other originals, we'll definitely see Extreme Butoden's full cast in this game. That's a bet, and that's based on my previous character roster, which wasn't a wish list. It was a prediction list, and it got blown up. So I went with a wish list in the end. But I still feel pretty strong that all the characters that are in Extreme Butoden will be in FighterZ in one form or another, playable. Will the Goons have an Xbox One copy? Actually, that's a. It won't be for auction or anything, but I will be. I did, and this is some sad news for people who haven't gotten a hold of this yet. I actually did pre-order the Xbox One version of the collector's edition because the PS4 version is sold out, and it's
shit.
Yeah. If you haven't gotten on it yet, then either you better hope they come up with a second edition of a collector's edition, or you're assed out. And the Xbox One version is sold out also now. So
I'll say this about the Xbox One thing: I do have a copy, or not a copy. I do have. I will have a copy. No.
Yeah, I will have a copy.
I do have an Xbox One, but it's like, unfortunately for the members of Game Goons, we're hella poverty right now. So I don't know if I want to pay for the Xbox Live service and not play Xbox that much.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a trap.
So as much as I want to do that, I'm looking at trying to get a promotion real quick. Like it's up. I'm up for a promotion. So if I get it, sure. But if not, believe we're probably most likely going to be either on PS4 or on PC. So I think you have a better chance of catching us on PC as opposed to Xbox.
Yeah. Personally, I am going to stream it on PS4, but I will be spending a fair amount of time playing on PC because that is my preferred medium. But I won't be streaming off it because that's going to be hell to do both at the same time.
Okay, here's a question. I think quick question I think you can answer. Mac Drop 3 says, "Do you think auto combos will be obsolete when people get the game, or will it be a part of the overall meta?" To which I feel we kind of delved into that topic.
Yeah,
already, right?
I remember us talking about that in the previous episode, and if I'm not mistaken, our answer was maybe. I can see reasons why it would. I can see reasons why it wouldn't.
Well, you kind of talked about it today.
Yeah.
As far as like those extended combos that you were talking about, those definitely are not auto combos.
No, they're not. They're definitely manual combos, and that's part of the reason why I say we've only learned 15% of what this game has to offer, because you can just looking at this visually, you can see all these options that are available to you. You just got to learn how to use which move and when to time it correctly. But they give you the opportunity to do these things, and there's so many different combo reads based off of this. And this is just one starter, As far as the auto combos go, it's important to take into consideration that these moves have different properties than the standard normals. They're actually different moves altogether. Especially, at least with the light attack version. The light attack version performs exclusive attacks to that move, to that button, and they for instance, Trunks does that. He does that, cross up slash, which I found out goes through a super dash. So. You can kind of just, buffer that out and just, hit that third light attack. And if somebody super dashes, they're going to get cut. And then I would say that definitely has a place in the overall gameplay, especially in neutral. I think it has a place in the fact that, and then we did discuss this before, because I said the launch mechanic of that is actually different than the launch mechanic that you would get off a stand heavy or a down heavy. The launch mechanic off the auto combos is that it's not as high as a down heavy. Now, the problem with that, and I still think this is a bug, is that when you do the air heavy that does the smash, the down smash, it is not untechable. It is techable. I don't know why that is. I feel like that's inconsistent on the part of the programmers. I feel like you either need to make all air smashes or all air down smashes either techable or untechable. It makes no sense to make them look identical, but because of the string you used to reach that, it is no longer the same property. It no longer has the same properties,
Okay, so Hell Pockets, how much time do you have to answer questions?
Let's go for another 15 minutes.
Okay, all right. So quickly, we're gonna get Reiki's question, and then we're gonna do this other question that Rod asked in our Mount Paozu Arcade Discord. By the way, Chris, if you
let me get that link in there,
yeah, send that link in there just so that next week or for the future Mount Paozu Arcades, you guys can get in there on Mount Paozu Arcade and ask the questions for the show. We have a channel for that. So while Chris is getting that link, the question was from Reiki Keto, a fellow friend of the Goons and honorary Goon. What can communities do to make this weekend a good opportunity to grow and promote this game? Always with the very hefty, good questions.
The loaded question.
yeah, like it's never a small way to answer that. Okay, so what I think people can do is what in general people are already doing is try to get as much exposure for the game as possible by uploading your videos, supporting other streamers, and yeah, just generally being a part of the experience of consuming and creating content. There's also, I mean, I don't know if running a tournament is a smart thing to do. I don't think that that's really necessarily viable at this point because we don't know we're getting offered to us.
Well, we're still talking about closed beta weekend, right?
Yeah, he's specifically talking about this weekend.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be possible. I think we don't know anything about the matchmaking right now, so unless I'll let you specifically choose people to play against, which I have found literally no information on that supporting that. Unless that is true, it just can't happen. So forget it.
Yeah. Okay, so to help you guys out on trying to like promote this thing, like there's a lot of people that the audience of the FGC aren't really too aware of or really follow too much for fighting game news, right? Like, for instance, people, I feel like a lot of people know who Wooly is and a lot of people know who Rhymestyle is, but not necessarily for the fighting game player or competitor, right? And I highly recommend that, hopefully you guys are already following our channel, by the way, that you follow our YouTube channel, follow Max, follow Wooly, and follow Rhymestyle. Those guys have been pretty consistent in providing content, and they're pretty comparable guys in the game. And it's very interesting for you guys to get those different looks from those very unique characters and how they present it, because they definitely have a really good skill set as far as presenting you guys information in that type of way, in that type of medium. So yeah, Rhymestyle, Maximilian, ourself, and Wooly, which, by the way, is officially Dark Hell Pockets, or
no,
what did you guys call him?
He is fake Hell Pockets.
Oh, fake Hell Pockets.
Fake Hell, and that was his idea.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So follow those guys. We definitely all have a very different way of looking at the game. Now, you got the usual suspects for your fighting game players. Like, you got Nakio. I think he did get into the beta.
Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
Follow Nakio. He's still a really solid player.
He's a great resource for just information on this game too, because he's got the notes that he took at PAX, and he's going to be making more, obviously, during the beta weekend. That's right. So,
yeah, he's definitely a number cruncher.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's the kind of people we need here. Yeah.
So, by the way, I do believe that he is slated for a future episode. So please do follow our future guest on Twitter. Let's see, Nakio. Let me get that Twitter link for you. But if you could advance to the next question while I provide that link.
I also wanted to add, one of the things that people can do as a community or to help the community, in addition to just spreading the word out, is just, be there to watch the streams. Like I said, consume the media. It's obviously, I don't mean you should be up at 2 a.m. and then be up till, 9 on Saturday watching us stream or whatever, right? And I'm not saying you have to watch it here at Game Goons. I would like it if you all watched it here on Game Goons. But if you were wanting to catch it on Max's channel, or maybe somebody was streaming for Nakiel or whatever, right? There's going to be no ending of good resources for you to partake of this weekend. And on top of that, I've instructed everybody on the Goon staff to record all matches they play.
Yeah.
That's a law. That's the first time I'm ever going to use that. Probably the only time. And so there will be plenty of information post beta that will that you'll be able to take in, and you'll want to spread that around. And I just think that as long as it is like a new community that is getting born here, as long as this new community can kind of stay positive and work together and not get too caught up in like who's got what and whatever. Not that I'm saying anybody's doing that now, but as long as we can kind of just say if we can stick to the course that it's about the game, then you're doing your part enough as already, like that. Okay. That's basically all I would say. Everything else will fall into place as long as you keep your mind about the game.
All right, I think you answered that question adequately. All right, so basically, this next question is there an obvious OP character in the current build? And I'll let you have your pick, because I think it's pretty obvious what my pick is for in the current build.
Obvious OP? Like, obviously OP? I don't know. Like, I might be biased because I've played the game twice now, or 3 times if you count Evo. So I have more experience with it, and I look at things a little bit differently than some of the people who have only played it at Evo, who only played it at PAX or Gamescom, and it was just for that day. But I guess if I was coming at it from a brand new perspective, and it's a Gamescom build, I'm probably thinking that it's hard to say because I haven't really seen anybody play at that level that anything really feels OP, even when it was brand new. Like everybody was OP. No, I guess I would say when I was brand new to it and I was ignorant of the nature of this character, I thought Piccolo was fucking OP.
But I mean, I'm talking about now, man.
Now?
Like, I'm not talking about when you're ignorant. Yeah, of course. That's what I'm fucking asking right now. Like,
no, I don't think there's any.
Experience.
No, in my experience now, I don't think there's any obviously OP characters. I think there's OP combinations. I think the Gohan paired with anybody combination is pretty OP. So Gohan as an assist character is OP, definitely.
I gotta get put through that to really believe it.
Yeah, like I saw it happen, and honestly, like it's one of those things where like you look at it, and yeah, experiencing it is one thing, but seeing it in this case is like you're not left with a lot to do. And if you try to,
here's my thing about it, why it's like. I feel like it's good, but I think it's only good like if your defense fucking sucks. Like I don't think overheads are that hard to block in this game.
No, it's not. But the thing is you don't get to do anything about it, and he gets to reset pressure because you have to block the assist also. And the assist is invulnerable because it's a DP. So
yeah, but after you block it, that assist isn't available. You can't repeat the same situation.
Well, the 50-50 comes in where you have to guess that he's going to do the overhead, or is he going to do the low medium?
How's it a guess if you could just block the overhead?
Well,
you mean
that's the 50-50.
Like empty jump?
Well, here's the thing. Like, you do the light attack, and then you do a stand medium with the block string, and then the opponent has to guess, is he going to do overhead, or is he going to do low? Why
don't you just react and block?
I mean, you could react and block, but you're still stuck in pressure.
Yeah, no, that's not a 50-50 though, because it's not a straight up guess. Like a 50-50 is
well, that's not the 50.
Guess.
I'm talking about the 50-50 on the left. Actually, the 50-50 is the cross up setup where he.
Yeah, that I have a hard time visualizing. So I gotta actually see that.
Yeah, you actually have to see that.
But yeah, the situation that you've mostly touched upon, I'm not that worried about. I gotta see that other one that you're talking about.
The other one is pretty nasty. Like I think people will figure out a way around it, and maybe it's just we haven't really got much time with it. But like the idea that he can turn you around and call assist from behind you is pretty nasty.
So is there a possibility that I can just mash down H and blow that shit up?
The assist or the
whole
jump?
situation that you're describing?
I think it would depend on the character because obviously different characters have different kinds of down H's.
Yeah, right.
Some characters have like Trunks has a decent range down H and it's grounded, but it's not going to reach out that far, So what this setup could do is someone could easily clear Trunks' down H and he could get hit by the assist because he's facing your character. He's not facing Gohan.
I feel what'll happen is there'll be a trade. Like you'll get the assist will hit, and then I don't know, maybe you'll be able to follow that up with the combo. Who knows?
Well, if the assist will hit, yeah, you'll be able to follow up with a combo because once it hits, your next move is a super dash. If it doesn't hit,
well, I'm saying if you trade, if you trade with whoever your character is when you're going for the overhead or whatever the fuck you're trying to do with that character, we're talking about very specific situation, but let's just say if you trade, if the assist connects, if it will still allow you enough time to convert after a trade, which I feel like maybe,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm thinking about it now, and like, yeah, you could probably do stuff like jump out of both of those setups. You could probably, just dash forward and avoid.
Dude, jump outs are like the first thing you go to, especially if you play kill.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're getting killed with a lot of pressure. So I'm not surprised that you went there.
Well, the other thing is like people don't take into the account that you can jump up back in this game.
That's a KOF thing. Like jumping backwards to get out of pressure is such a KOF team.
Which is weird because you can't air block in any of the KOFs outside of 98. So it's like, man, I guess every KOF player wants to be a Marvel player. Don't quote me on that.
So for me, I already talked about it. I think I wouldn't say OP because OP is like fucking like way too good of a character, right? But I do think it is almost head and shoulders above everybody else is Android 18 for me. Yeah, it's just I don't see that character getting bad anytime simply because of the way the character is designed. So I think that character has a lot of longevity. Yeah, I think initially in tournaments you're going to see a lot of combinations with 18, and it's pretty prevalent or clear to see what her advantages are versus other characters. Like if you're a very hard on set play type characters and you don't like making like those hard reads, like that character is all you, man. You don't have to think too hard about a situation. She simplifies a lot of situations and shuts down a lot of options. Versus the other characters, you're gonna have to use your brain a little bit more. And yeah, I think the name of the game in this is offense, and she's gonna be able to create some pretty nasty shit, especially when you have an assist on top of whatever she has, when you have the full squad on deck to work with.
Right.
So my pick is Android 18. And yeah, just to answer the question straight up on who's an OP character, I'm not going to say it's OP. I just think she's really good and she's better than a better member overall than the rest of the available characters. That's my answer.
Okay.
So I believe we finally come to the end of the show, though we had a lot of trouble initially, but fuck it. We
made it work too.
We wrote it out.
Had to do the pre-beta episode. Would have been a damn travesty if we didn't do that shit, you know?
Yeah, it worked out pretty decently despite our little hiccups. And yeah, we come to the end of our show. But once again, you know, let us throw out to you guys. You know, it's already on our screen. Please follow our YouTube channel. Please throw us a subscribe. Please.
Yeah.
Throwing it out. Come on, people. Hook a brother up with some fucking follows and subscribes.
Like, do you want us to do better streams and stuff? Nah. We definitely enjoy having you guys with us. We do this for you. So if anything you guys could provide for us is obviously appreciated. And, you know, we'll be bringing you more good content in the very near future. This weekend's going to be pretty big for us. One way or the other, we're going to have a lot of content in there. So get ready for it.
Yeah, man. And another thing is, you guys need to jump on the bandwagon right now. I'll tell you, you guys don't want to be bandwagoners later when this shit blows up. You got to be there. I was there when the Goons were small. You know, when my Paozu arcade was shit.
I mean, not that we won't appreciate bandwagoners later on or anything like that, but you know.
But they're not here yet, Chris. We can appreciate them when they come. But right now, we got the core audience with us right now. And if you want to show your support and jump on the team. Or at least give us a look on the teespring.com. Check it out.
Yes.
Just give us a look, man. Just check it out. You don't like it? That's cool. You gotta buy nothing. But you want to support us and represent. And if I see you at an event and you're dude, I will legit tear up if I see some people wearing our shit. Like, I will catch hella feels off of that. Oh, hell yeah, man. You're the man. Put up a picture of the shirts. Yeah, man. Help us out with throwing us buy on those shirts if you can, and represent for us, you know, like I hope you guys would like to. But yeah, thanks a lot for you guys watching and supporting us and giving us some love. And
you guys are awesome.
It's been a great run. We're gonna continue and watch this Saturday, all fucking early morning,
2 a.m.
So
baby.
every goddamn slot that they have available will be all over it. So check us out, please. Anything else you want to say, Help Pockets, before you close us out?
No, I think that's it. You know, I want to thank everybody for watching tonight's episode. It's been extra long too, so that's awesome. I want to thank you to almost did it. Almost did it. Want to say thank you to Namco Bandai for inviting us out there to play the game. It was a blast, and we look forward to doing it again in the future. And shout out to Dimitri. He's been great, obviously answering all our questions and been really good and very, very forthcoming. And Dalton also. Those guys are like really cool. Like every time we're around Dalton and Dimitri, they're very interested in what we're doing to discover things in this game. They're very and they're also interested in wanting to know like how are we promoting it outside of these sessions, and they are just great. So really happy to have them on our side. And I would even consider them honorary goons if they actually knew what we were.
No, man, for sure. Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out.
Like sidebar, did you see them on the PAX stream? Like they were definitely gooning it up during the Twitch official stream for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Like Dimitri could not stop talking shit to Dalton and Dalton was just like, "Really, dude, you're gonna do this right here, like in front of everybody."
Oh my god,
it was amazing. I'll show it to you, man. It's great. Anyway, but that's about it. And I want to once again say thank you to everybody for watching. Stay dry. If you're in NorCal, don't get rained on. And if you're anywhere else, have a good night. And always remember, keep it super. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I broke my mic.
Later.